Hi, I'm Pantazi. As you've noticed, I've been placing a lot of healing techniques on the page. Now, I've taken this from our health and wellness program, and I started adding it to the YouTube here, so you have something to practice. Okay, you can always work on a spouse or a significant other with these techniques at your home while you're sequestered due to this this outbreak. So it was to help you get your hands on another individual and to help soothe them. Because let's face it, we're all under stress in this situation, and it's great to pass the time. It's great to try to help another person and soothe them and minimize or mitigate their stress levels. During one of those, we were talking about how you can help someone with nausea. Now this helps us a lot. Now in Kyusho, we can develop nausea, okay, or we can cause nausea on individuals with some of the techniques we deploy, especially when we're working with dropping their blood pressure. One of the outcomes of a dropping blood pressure is nausea. Now, one of the YouTubers, Bruce Barthalow, and I hope I pronounced your name right, but he asked how you could cause the nausea. And it's a very simple process, okay? Maybe not easy in combat, but you can actually apply it if you're in ground fighting easier, but you can also apply it in sparring, fisticuffs, fighting, if you develop the skill, okay? Now, we were talking about the target being on the inner wrist. Now, a lot of people will say, okay, you have a pericardium number 6, a 7, and a pericardium number 6. Okay, but that's not what we're attacking, because we're not attacking these specific points. The whole nerve on the inside of the arm, okay, on the inside of the two bones of the forearm, if they're struck hard enough, they will cause nausea. Okay, now you're going to need to get in there with a penetrating blow, and what you're going to see is the tendons will really protect that nerve, because the nerve goes a little deeper. So you have the tendons coming along the arm, and you can see it in the film clip that I've got in the back. And you can see how the nerve lies. Now, if you just punch it, okay, if I just took this and punched, you're going to get an electrical shock, number one. So it's a great target to work with when you're doing your gunting or your arm destructions. But also, when you're striking this, it hurts an awful lot, but it won't cause the nausea, and the reason is you need to penetrate a little deeper. And if the arm has some leeway to get away, or an escape, or the punch pushes it away, you're not going to penetrate deep enough. You're going to have to clamp onto it and clip across. So holding the arm steady with one hand as you punch across with the other would work better. Okay, you could do that with your fist, your elbow. You can't do it so much with your head, but if you're grappling, you can actually squeeze in there. Now, if you've developed your hand strength by doing certain Kyusho techniques like our seizing drills that we went through, you've probably developed the strength enough to cause that nausea. It's going to cause intense pain anyway. Now, we use it a lot in grappling. If the person's hanging on to us and you're grabbing onto their wrist to try and shift, everybody's used to that, and they're used to the force of just trying to pull the arm away from a choking or a lapel grab or whatever the case may be. But they're not used to you reaching around and grabbing in there with your fingers with enough depth and penetration, and knowing how to access that nerve correctly to cause the pain, the dysfunction, the weakening of the arm, the paralyzation of the arm, some unconsciousness if it's struck. If you're pushing on it hard enough, you can also cause a little bit of dizziness, probably not the unconsciousness, and also at the same time it would develop nausea. If the person started getting to the level where they're experiencing dizziness, they're going to experience some nausea with that. All right, and some people are more susceptible than others, of course. Now, you can strike, like I said, all along the inner aspect of the arm. The problem is, once it gets past the wrist and you start getting past the tendons and into the thicker muscles down in here, you're going to have to penetrate deeper because the muscle mass itself is really thick. And you're going to have to get past that. But all of those will cause nausea on the person. So make sure you watch the nausea video for the healing before you go and apply this to your partner, because let's face it, they're not going to be happy with you unless you can get rid of the nausea too. So the healing goes hand in hand with the hurting. And it's not that you use pressure points for healing, just work with the nerve and soothe it in the same direction that you worked with the nausea recipe, and you'll have success. So Bruce, that was a great question. Thanks for being a subscriber. Thanks for posting your question, and I hope this answered it well enough.